Welcome back to the BD Boys podcast, where the mics. Oh, I wrote a decent intro here. Where the mics are hot, but the opinions are hotter.
Damn.
But today we're switching it up. This is something different. We're bringing on a fellow podcast. This is a podcast that my cousin started. It's fairly new. You guys are like 2 years old, 3 years old, I believe, right? So this whole show is, I want to get behind the scenes on what it takes to start a show, the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's start how it starts from ground zero. So if you ever thought about starting a podcast and you're right now in the trenches and you're trying to grow, or if you just want to hear what it's really like behind the scenes, this is the episode for you.
Just grab a gun first.
Yeah, we're diving into the grind, the self-doubt, the breakthroughs, and why the hell are we still doing this? So let's welcome the infamous, the outrageous, sometimes naughty. I've heard some of your guys' show, but yet always on point. And honestly, for me, I mean, this is my opinion. How many times do I listen to their show over and over, like 3 times throughout the week?
Oh, nice.
Always entertaining.
Thank you.
The Do It Like Danny show.
Hey.
Cousin Louie and Cousin Debo.
How you doing?
Good.
How's everybody doing today?
Hi, everybody. Hello. This is part of the Pod Meets Pod. So if you're wondering and you're seeing Do It Like Danny, but you're hearing Cousin Paul talk with his BD Universe, BD Boys podcast.
May we ask, is the BD for Big Dick Boys?
That's supposed to be the, what is it, the unspoken... But yes, Lo.
Got it. Okay.
How did you get that? How did you...
I mean, it's written all over the bathroom walls.
But the whole point
And
is
all
that
the gay clubs.
it's supposed to be sarcastic because nobody in the BD Boys has...
Oh, got it.
Okay.
We're aware now.
All right.
Wow, you guys all admitted that?
Yeah.
So as I was saying, welcome back to Do It Like Danny, day number 2. Again, this is something that we thought we would try. My cousin invited me onto his show. We also have a show, myself, Do It Like Danny, and Cousin Louie. If you've been watching us, then you already know the shenanigans that lay in store for everybody that watches and listens. And you should be watching,
Yes.
not listening. So with
Exactly.
that, I will hand it back over to Cousin Paul.
So we have the Do It Like Danny show, which stars Debo, Cousin
But wait, I
Louie.
have to interrupt you for a second. So,
Yeah.
for those of you at home that they don't know, no one knows what Debo. Nobody
What do
knows
you go by?
Debo.
Oh, Danny.
Well, no,
Yeah.
nobody knows Debo because nobody knows the nicknames that have been bestowed upon me
Yeah.
over all the years via our family, and they would probably include, besides Debo, what are the other things you can remember?
AKA D-String,
Big D.
AKA Big D,
Or just D.
Debo,
Yeah.
D-String. Oh, I said D-String.
Yeah.
What was the one Chris called you? Gamora?
Oh yeah, Gomorrah.
Gamora, which
Gomorrah.
is that like Sodom
Like
and
Sodom and
Gomorrah?
Gomorrah? I mean, that, your biblical reference? How dare she? How dare she? They're calling her Sodom.
But like I've never heard anybody call him Daniel, which is I think is that your official name or
Yes,
is it Debo?
my real name is Daniel. But yeah, no one's ever really called me because of the family.
Yeah.
We all have kind of like nicknames and
Yeah.
stuff. So the people at home for Do It Like Danny, you're probably wondering who are they talking about? Yes, I am Debo, just so you know. Sorry, I didn't interrupt you, but go ahead.
No. Yeah, no. Hype your show exactly. So Do It Like Danny, and of course stars Danny, aka Debo, aka D-String, Cousin Louie, aka Little Lou.
Yep.
Little Lou, and then Cousin Angelo, who I don't know, that's on your side, but he's the voice of reason, the guy with the nice, the soothing voice, and then sometimes Darnella, right? Or is she
Yeah.
officially on the?
Yeah, she comes
Tagline
and she
or-
goes.
okay.
Yeah, she comes and she
Okay.
goes. She's not on the tagline, but she comes and she goes.
Yeah.
We will eventually at some point incorporate her more in
Nice,
the
nice.
30-30. But yeah, we're good.
So let's start where it originally first started. Take me back to the first conversation. Like, how did this start? Talking about doing a show. Was it Louie, you going to Debo? Was it something you guys talked about? Like, give me the origins of the Do It Like Danny show.
Well, one day he just called me out of the blue and he's like, "Hey, I'm like really popular. I'm famous. I want to do my own show. I go,
Not say
who
that.
is this? He's like, it's your cousin. I'm in jail. I go, why are you calling me? He's like, I have a really great idea. I go, but he's like, I need you to bail me out. So I go, well, how much do you need?
What was the charge?
I wasn't sure. Would you like to maybe chime in on that one?
Indecency.
Yeah, I would say public
Indecency.
public exposure.
Public sex. What do you call it? I don't even know what you call that.
So how did it start? Well, during the pandemic, just had a lot of time on my hands at that point in time because everything was closed. And I was listening to my favorite podcast. You ever seen Tiger Belly? Heard about it?
I love it.
Yeah.
What is it?
With Bobby Lee?
Yeah. And Kate Kalila.
Yeah.
He's going to be at Comic-Con.
Yes, and I'm going to be there. But anyway, so he's just telling this outrageous, outlandish story. And it, does the punchline. It's funny. And I'm like, man, it's so funny. I go, I wish I could do this. It just sounds like so much fun. And I'm like, but who would I do it with? And the only crazy person that I know who has stories like that is my cousin Danny. And if you've listened to our show, you would kind of know. But, like, he's the oldest out of our family.
Right.
So I didn't really know him. So I go, well, I know of him. We've spoken. We've gone to parties and things like that. But he's on one end and I'm on the younger end. So how do I gauge a cousin that I don't really know and try and sell him on an idea like, hey, I think we could do something with this and people might like it. So I sat on that for a while and it just like nagged and nagged. Like, fuck, I guess I should do this, but how do I do it? So I asked his mom.
Oh,
and I kind of like explained the idea to her. She's like, so you want to produce him? At that point in time, I go, I don't even know what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
But I go, if that's what that's called, I guess,
Right.
then yeah. So she's like, well, exactly what you just told me,
Tell him.
tell him exactly like that. So I'm like, okay. So even that was kind of like a lot to
You're
do.
like, but I don't really know him.
Yes. I wrote it down and I put it on a
Oh,
text and I
dang.
just sent it.
Oh, dang.
I don't remember exactly the words I said, but it was
have it here.
but it was just something along the lines like, look, of all the people I know, you're the funniest guy I've ever met. I know right now you're going through like tough times. And I go, I feel like this is the prime thing to do to kind of get you out of your funk. And I would love to do this. And I told him, like, I'll fund it all. I'll learn all the programs. I'll make you look good. All you got to do is say yes. And I didn't get like a response right away, or maybe I did, but it was very like.
No, I didn't say it yes at all. Remember? I didn't,
But he might have
wasn't
given me a
I was like,
response.
that sounds really good. I feel like I gave you like the normal response.
Very like
But
generic.
what was your initial response to that text?
Like,
Like, oh, this is BS, or
Well, no, so here's the thing. So, although I am a 3-time Emmy Award winner and, Grammy and Oscar, no, it's kidding. And even though I've done a lot of things behind the camera,
Right. Oh.
I am not like a front of the camera person, which just surprised me that you are a front of the camera person. You are the shyest person growing up.
Yeah.
Yes, you're boisterous and you're loud. You always have jokes. But this is the last place that I would ever see you, to be honest. And I'm not. That's not a
I
dig
thought this
to
was
be
about
mean.
the Do It Like Danny show.
No, I know, but I'm regressing back again. I'm regressing back again because I'm impressed that you, of all people, are like stepped up and do this show.
Well, I was inspired by you guys, honestly.
Really?
thank you.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
No. To do my golf show.
Oh, nice.
Because I was
okay.
like, I started watching you guys on YouTube. I was never on YouTube, and I started watching you guys, and I was like, oh, look at this whole there's golf and there's all this. And
Oh, yeah.
That's why I started. But then the podcast just kind of fell into it. I was like, oh, I like this. This
Yeah.
is good. But
It's intimate.
congrats to you guys.
So it's
No,
perfect.
thanks.
So I want you to hold on to that thought
Okay.
because we're going to come back to that in a moment. That's actually a very good point that you brought up. So then, honestly, I have to give credit to your cousin Gina.
Oh.
So the story goes, she also was setting up her own podcast at the time.
Oh, that's right.
And we were in her condo in San Diego, and she was setting up camera shots. She had lighting there, she had audio there, everyone was taking photos. They were trying to get a grasp of how they were going to set the stage for her podcast. And Chris was there also too, which is my sister's husband.
But you weren't there to do the show. You were
I
just
was
there.
not.
like,
I was
hanging out,
just
like,
there
oh, okay.
because Rachel was there, and so was Chris, and they were all there. And so I remember they were asking about something about microphones, and I don't remember. Me and my 2 cents, and I said, "Well, if you put it this way, you're going to be blocking and whatever." And then she said, let's test it, right? You know, Danny's always putting his 2 cents in, whether
But you were the only one with a real life show experience. You know what I mean?
But like the lighting guy and the sound guy, they also had
they were legit.
They were legit.
Okay.
Great guys. So fast forward from that. So she said, well, let's practice. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever, I'll sit down. And so I sat down, and she started asking me questions about how I got into television. And I just told my story. Well, it's really funny because I think like 20 plus minutes went by. And
it was just natural, just flowing.
And it was funny because like the sound guy, everybody was just like, just silent. They were all, nobody was moving.
Because they were into the story.
She's asking their question. She says, you know what? She goes, I don't want you to answer anymore. I want you to come on the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, okay. Right? And everyone was like, oh, what, we're done? Oh, no. We wanted you to keep going. And that's when I was like, well, that's really funny because I didn't think that I was interesting, and there's probably some people.
Was this before you guys had already talked about it?
We had talked at this point. We did,
but there was nothing.
He wasn't sold on it.
I wasn't sold on it. Correct.
Mildly pestering him, so I had already probably sent him 2 text messages. So I sent him one year, and then I sent him one like 6 months later.
This is over a year process. Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't know. I was kind of like up in the air. I was like, nobody wants to hear from me. What am I going to say? What am I going to tell? Well, who would have thunk that at that moment that was the light bulb that went off for me? And so then I think the very next day I was like, Louis, we should do this. Let me tell you what happened in the story. And I told the story. And I think in our very first episode, or along the lines of the first season, I told the story to kind of give people an understanding of like how this all came to be.
Right.
In addition to Louis, obviously, providing all of the equipment and everything, it was just like, what am I going to talk about? And from where we are to where we are today are obviously 2 different places. You're gonna grow. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. But before we get into that, also too, like going back to that Gina moment, that is what sold me on.
I can do this. I
was, because I was like, this was so easy. All I was doing was talking into a mic,
which is what you do. Every family part, everything. You have stories up the, you know what I mean? Like,
but to see the sound guy and the lighting person, they just were
engaged,
riveted. And I'm like, okay, this is a story about when I worked at Ellen, and they didn't move, and they were disappointed when she said, "Stop. I want to stop right here," and they were like, "What? No, I want to hear this story." Yeah. So that was the nail in the proverbial coffin.
I mean, you're a natural storyteller.
Oh, yeah.
But you just, I guess, maybe didn't realize. Okay. When did you guys both realize that? This is after obviously you already got going, but when did you guys realize that it was like actually a lot harder? And what was the first major kind of like? So you already we're gonna do this. We're gonna. Boom! We just hit a roadblock. Like, what was the kind of the first thing?
I don't know if you share the same sentiment. I think not so much a roadblock, but I think when I realized that it was much harder was when we taped the first episode.
Thank you so much.
The first episode?
Yeah. We remember. So we were just audio. Season 1 is audio only.
Right,
we didn't get to YouTube until season 2.
Right.
And because again, that kind of fortifies. I didn't want to be in front of the camera.
Yeah.
But I was comfortable being on a microphone in the privacy of my own.
But why wouldn't you be on camera?
He wanted to fight it.
I didn't want to be on camera. I don't know. I always like, even when Tyra would have me on camera, I would be like, I would freeze when that light comes on. I'm just like, shockingly enough, right? Because I'm so loud, I'm so boisterous, and everybody thinks, oh, Danny will do whatever, right?
Yeah.
But there was just something about being live. In my mind, on television, I just wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And it is a lot. Like, the fact that you overcame that so quickly, you went straight to it, it took me over a full year. But going back to the pitfalls.
Okay.
So the first episode that we recorded, I'll never forget this. Oh, my God. And I listened to it, and I was like, this is awful. This is so awful. I was like, oh my God.
What was so bad about it?
Well, first of all, there's no energy.
Oh, you guys were just like, okay.
It was like, welcome to Do It Like Danny. I was like, I was reading a short story.
Time to take a nap.
Yeah,
Do it
really
like
was.
Danny.
It was awful. It was so awful. And so to truncate this story, I think we recorded the first episode I think at least over 4 times.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, we went through a couple drafts of that first episode that nobody will ever hear.
Oh yeah. Because then I didn't know what a show entailed.
Okay.
I mean, I knew how to produce a show. I knew how to do it certain aspects, but how do you produce yourself?
Right,
that's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
What I would think would be interesting, people would be like, that's dumb, right?
Yeah.
And then I realized after doing all this, I'm like, it doesn't matter what people think. I shouldn't care.
Yeah.
Right.
But I was caring because I wanted it to be good, right? It was terrible. And so what became of that was I would just get drunk. And I would ramble on because I would start to tell stories. And I said, Louis, maybe you can put this into a show. Maybe you can figure it out, right? Putting all the pressure on Louis. Louis, just figure it out. Just figure it out, right? And then when I would go back and listen, I'm like, oh my God, this is so depressing. This is so bad. And then over time, I began to envelop the character of Do It Like Danny.
Right.
So I became more, hey, everybody, welcome to Do It Like Danny.
Your energy
You
has
start to
changed.
learn the energy has changed immensely over, the few years that we've been doing this. Yeah. That's my personal story of the beginning of, wow, this is going to be a lot more work
Than I thought.
realized.
Oh, wait, so you thought it was the first episode of the first season?
Yeah, it was many of them.
I thought it was the first episode of the second season when we went to video. I was like, oh, this is going to be a fun nightmare.
Well, that was different because we started the show and we were recording, and it was a friend of a friend, and that's what he does is record for podcasts on YouTube, and so or for shows, and he does a lot of behind the scenes stuff. So we had 3? I can't remember.
We had 3 or 4 cameras that day.
But nice, amazing cameras, right? So we're doing the show and we're talking about it, and we were in his really cool little like this,
yeah, it was
right?
just kind of like this, about this size.
Yeah, and he had wrestling memorabilia and things like that.
Oh, I remember
so,
that.
Yeah,
I remember that video. Yeah.
And so we're going through, and so he came out and he was going through it, and we were talking and stuff because he left us alone, and we're going. And then all of a sudden he's smoking a blunt, and he goes, "Guys," he says, "This cut out 20 minutes ago."
Because he had gone off. And you know me, I'd never done it before.
Yeah.
He hadn't really done it before.
Right.
I am assuming, because that's his friend and it's a friend of a friend, there's going to be a battery that's going to last a good time. Or at least the homie's going to come and look. There was no looking at all. So we lost footage, and then it was my first time editing any video.
Oh, yeah.
That was a nightmare. So I learned on the fly from day one. This was the nightmare I decided to take the show to. And it was my choice because I pushed him. He's like, we're not ready. I go, we got to do it. He's like, we're not ready. I go, but we got to do it. He's like, okay, but we're not ready.
Wait to
but
see
we're
what's
going to do
gonna
it.
happen.
And I was like, okay, we're not ready, but I'm going to figure it
Yeah.
And it would take you forever to download shows. Remember when you were trying to convert them?
Yeah, because I didn't know what I was doing. But now I do.
Yeah. Okay.
That would take hours.
Okay. So I know what your show's about. Obviously, I'm a big fan, but for other people that don't, so what is the show about? What do you want to project to everyone? This is what I'm trying to get across for the Do It Like Danny show. 'Cause I know it's changed a little, right?
Oh, it's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
So in the beginning, it was going to be my trajectory in television, right? It was going to be how I came to be, because I always wanted to tell the story of how Danny came to be, right? People meet me and they're like, God, you're so crazy.
Yep,
how did
you're
you
so
get here?
crazy.
It's because I've been exposed to so many different things. This is what has molded my personality, right? Whew, trials and tribulations. And so I wanted to be able to convey that enthusiasm and the things that I went through. And I also wanted to tell people all about my behind the scenes about television, right? Because I really fell into it.
And it's a good story.
All of it. Yeah. Everything that I've experienced of working the award shows and being with all the celebrities and people in their lifetime. Not that I'm I want to be with celebrities, but in their lifetime they go to TV shows, they go to whoever, and it's I've had conversations with some of these celebrities and just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I kind of just made it seem like it was very benign. But when you talk to people, they're like, "What do you mean you talk to Tyra?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, well, And it's just it's so nonchalant for me that I interacted with the most beautiful boss I think I've ever had in my entire life every single day for 4+ years. You know what I mean? And then she helped shape some of my career by creating or having me audition to become the show warm-up comedian, right? So there's a whole bunch of stories that I had to kind of tell people, and I want people to know to kind of get them to that point where we are now. And then I think season 2, we kind of, I'm not going to lie. So my last show was very tumultuous, and it was just not a good working environment.
What do you mean, though?
Well, within that environment, I had a couple of bosses who that had colluded together.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, I thought you were talking about your. Oh, you're
No,
talking about
not our show.
Okay,
Yeah, not our show.
Okay, got you. Okay.
So I wanted to tell all the stories of the things that people did wrong to me, right?
Right.
And now looking back on it, I feel like that was a very immature approach to it. Unfortunately, the main one, she has passed. She's no longer on this plane. Have I forgiven her? Absolutely. But it took me a long time to get to this point. So I wanted to tell those stories too, because I wanted people to know. Like behind the scenes, there's horrible things that happen. But I think when she passed, it was like, well, this is dumb.
What's the point now?
What's the point now? And there's no point to it because there was never going to be a reconciliation. I wasn't going to be able to have her on my show to be able to kind of voice these concerns, and then there'd be some sort of like character arc for the two of us, and we make up
closure.
Like, oh my God,
and,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's never going to happen. So I had to dig down deep, and I had to forgive her. And I hope that she forgives me for whatever I did also too, right? So then from that, once we kind of closed that chapter, it kind of turned into this, well, let's talk about current events, right? Many people want to hear the insanity that spews out of my mouth when it comes to particular current events.
Which I like, by the way.
Thank you. And within that, we kind of, we tried out different people. We tried out Eric. We tried out Cousin Angelo. We did Darnella. And I was just, because in my mind, I figured that all of those people would be like really great, right, on camera. But again, it's translated differently. It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Wait, so are you saying you don't think they're good on camera?
No, it's
Some
not
of
that.
them are,
Some
and
of them
some
are.
of them can be, but maybe have a little too much fun.
Or it's hard to produce them.
Yes.
There's a point where some
Darnella.
people...
No, I'm just that because when you guys go, you guys are like, halftime. I'm like, I don't know what they're just like.
So is there a part 3 to this? Because I think we're going to cut it right there. We'll
Yeah.
see you next week.
Yeah, we have like 9 hours of episode. She's really good, but she loves to... when you're producing a show, it's fun to joke and it's fun to do certain things, but to sit there and go back and forth, it's nonstop.
Right,
And then she gets to a certain point where she doesn't stop. And it's like, okay, we've already... And then she'll bring up things from the past. So it's hard to keep her... It's like the Titanic. I'm trying to get her to go around the icebergs, and I can't steer her on the icebergs because if I say something, then she's being funny... She makes it this big, huge thing. And she is funny.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
I think there needs to be just like a her and I show.
But you can't do that off camera and tell her like, hey, I need this. I don't need all of it. It's just it's like a hurricane.
She's Darnella.
Okay.
She's Darnella.
I mean, I don't know her, so that's what I'm saying, but I see.
She's Darnella. We'll introduce you next
Seems
time.
like a whirlwind.
She's Darnella. She is, she's
a
Darnella.
good time. She's
So
a
it's
good
like
time.
you guys are trying to harness that. You want to make that energy right, but it's hard to control.
And it's hard. It's trying to harness that stallion.
Right.
We want to make the show just a little bit more uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because from time to time we would just digress, and I kind of would allow it. And that's really not good producing, I guess you could say.
So the one thing I would say is, because I like when you guys have her, I like the energy between her and Debo. Like the way they go. My favorite episode was a recent one, but before that, it was the one where you guys were singing back and forth about like... What was it? It was like a show song or something. You're like, oh, and you guys were just going back and forth so perfectly, back and forth with the scene. But I can see there were times where like you guys would start laughing at something. I'm like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Like, I'm sure it's funny because you guys are cracking. But the average audience, I'm like, I have no idea.
That's
inside
perfect.
Jokes, right? They were inside jokes.
Yes, and that's perfect. So her and I have been friends for so long. We have so many inside jokes, right?
Right.
So you just said it perfectly. Yeah. So Jimmy would sit, when we go to Vegas, I would visit her in Vegas, and we would all sit at the bar. Darnella and I would be firing back and forth, right? And Jimmy literally said this. Jimmy said, I don't know what's going on. He goes, but I'm having a lot of fun because the two of you just, purple,
Yeah.
He started laughing. He goes, and I have no idea what's going on.
Right.
But I try to keep up. I give up. He goes, I gave up a long time ago trying to figure out what the two of you are saying.
Right.
Because you both talk so fast
Yeah.
and you go back and forth. But so I was trying. In every episode that she's on, I try to educate people or share the jokes with them. But it's such rapid fire.
Right. She's quick and you're quick, so it's like
we're both quick.
it's just gonna
and
be.
then because we have this like unspoken competition of we're gonna one each other up, right?
Yep.
We are the ultimate of like one each other up, and it keeps going. And it keeps going, and meanwhile, next night, 45 minutes go by, and everyone's just sitting there like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah. Okay.
So she is a good time, but she takes up a lot of
Hard
time
to rein
too.
in, yeah.
It's hard to rein in.
Yeah.
It's very hard to rein in.
I'm sure you've had somebody like that on your show at some point. Had to have. At least somebody you're like, man,
That's
I would
always
love to have him on, but he just can't rein him in.
Debo and Darnella, your guys' personalities are so big. I don't know anybody that could match that. I mean,
You're right. She's so funny.
Yeah, no, I cut up.
She's so
Like,
funny.
you guys are doing that song. I forgot what it was like.
I don't
got you.
remember.
It was something. It was like I don't know. But anyways, okay. Did you guys ever come to a point where you're like, maybe we should just stop? Like let's just quit. Like
Stop
we
the
gave it a shot.
podcast?
Yeah.
No.
No, not
So,
to
because
the-
you guys were talking about like your struggles, but there was never a point where we were like, we're gonna stop this. Like you was always like, we're gonna push through.
Here's the thing too, and I'm interrupting. Sorry, so you're going to talk. So going back to what I was telling my story before about my last job, when I finally forgave the person and all of the people that were involved in the drama, then me telling the stories became more cathartic. And I got lighter and lighter and lighter. And so that's why season 3 started the way that it did. And even like in second episode, season 3, we changed it also, and we started doing like more up-to-date live things,
which I liked.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's changed over the years, and what became, I wouldn't say revenge, I'm looking for a better word. What became as like revenge podcast, like I'm going to share it and tell you these horrible people what they did to me, has become more of like lighter, funnier, and it's been very therapeutic for me. I'm going to be selfish.
It did
and say
evolve. Yeah.
It really has, it has helped me a lot.
And can I give you my opinion? Unfiltered?
Yeah.
So I love the show from day one. I mean, you guys can talk about.
Why is your wife putting her hands?
I don't know. You guys can talk about anything, but because I'm so close to you and Little Lou, I'm going to listen. Yeah. And I'm going to be entertained by it. But you're all right, Debo. There was a time where you were talking about the old show where I felt like you were going too negative. And so I would finish the show with Desiree and I'd be like, it's just like, I don't know. I don't have that, like, every time I'm around Debo, I associate with Debo, I talk to Debo, I come out happy and just like, his stories are just great. And it was going like kind of dark for a while.
Yeah.
I was just like, it just seems so negative.
It was a
You're
rough
so
time.
mad.
No,
so
you're right. It was
so
you're
when
right.
you switch it up, for me, I'm still gonna listen. And of course, I'm still. But I started telling, I was like, I feel like he's like mad, or is just like I don't know. Okay, boom. I'm
yeah,
like,
I definitely let them get to me. And I don't possess. People may believe that I do, but I don't possess that cutthroat mentality of hurting your friends.
I agree.
And we were all friends, and I couldn't shake that. That like my very good friends, one whom he actually lived with me in New York for 6 months, would actually turn on me and make me the problem when they just wanted to make more money and get me out. It was just really, it was a
So
really,
you were hurt.
really
You were
hard
hurt.
time. I was hurt.
And so when it started coming out, it came out. Yeah, and Desiree said it. She's like, and I'm like, I know, but like for the show, I'm like,
But I think what was like the whole like, you know, pinnacle for me or exodus or whenever it changed was when the person that was involved in it, she passed on my birthday.
Yeah. Oh,
that's wild.
That's crazy.
Wild.
Yeah.
So in terms of like the karmic universe, it was like the karma saying, here you go, this is for you. But you have to forgive her.
Yeah.
And so it took me a while to forgive her.
And how do you keep railing on someone they're dead?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
dead.
You can't.
Like,
There's-
F her. Yeah,
Correct.
Like, yeah.
And then the joke is, right, it's like, you know, don't talk bad about the dead. And in my mind, I was like, well, then they shouldn't have been a horrible person when they were alive, right?
Yeah.
But
That's true
listen,
too.
we all have our positive and our negatives.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to carry that into the next season.
And I think that was big. Like, I think that was big of you to make that like?
Well, it was
okay,
hard.
I'm gonna
Whether it was
stop with.
big or whatever, it was hard. It was a really hard
But you
decision.
did it. You made- I mean-
because I wanted to still remain angry, but I realized the anger doesn't cure anything. It
Right.
makes you sicker.
Right.
But you realize you had to go through that part, say it all out there, realize it, and then finally be able to let it go.
Exactly. You
Like
had
we
to get it
wouldn't
out.
have the
Right,
show
right,
if you
right.
didn't do that.
Correct.
Right.
And it actually is kind of interesting to watch when you see it and how it goes so far, and then all of a sudden it just flips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
no,
over.
I ever since you flipped it, I love it even more because it's like now I'm getting the true. You know what I mean?
Well, I think we're finally finding our footing.
You have
I
a
felt
rhythm.
like this season has felt so easy.
Yeah.
But we also rehearse now too.
Not really.
We do. We have to rehearse with someone, Angelo. We have to rehearse because
So let's cut that right there and let's lead into what's the biggest blowout you've had with the guys on the set? Has there been any major issues? Like I feel like sometimes I see some tension.
I think I'm gonna have to let him answer that because I don't have any blowouts. I'm sorry, I have blowouts when things don't go the right way, or I'm like, wait, what do you mean? Like, there's certain things sometimes I'm just like, why didn't you do it this way? I asked you to do it this way.
Right.
Why didn't we do it? And then I get excuses, and then I'm like,
He's lying, by the way.
you know what I mean?
You guys sound related.
I do not do that. Stop. I do not do that.
Behind the scenes,
Behind the scenes blowouts, I mean, not really.
Not really.
There's been some on-set kind of things where I'm like,
Tension.
what the f is going on today and why of all things? But like for the most part, we don't really fight and bicker. We have like our own ideas.
Yeah.
And like he'll shoot out his and maybe I'll shoot it down because either I can't do it or it's just like time-wise it's not feasible. But I'll always try to find a happy medium. But no, there's no, like, I'm not going to fight about it.
Well, I have a question for you then, Lulu.
Or we have
like,
digs that we'll throw at each other, but it's not
Yeah,
like
it's not like
it's
I
not-
fucking hate
Right,
you.
right.
It's not I hate you, but it's like, oh, you should have done this.
Yeah.
You know.
So say something comes down like a creative idea. It doesn't have to be a fight or anything, but just like I want to do this, I want to do that. Who has the final say? Does he have the final say because it's his show?
We just
or-
shoot ideas and he'll either go yes or no. It's not really one of those like, you don't get me my 15 minutes. I
You know
hate
what I'm
you.
saying? But did Debo have the final
Yeah,
call?
he pretty much will veto yes or no.
Right. Okay.
But I think I'm pretty flexible. I try to be flexible. Like you said.
I just,
But
We need to get Angelo on.
except when it's Angelo. Because Angelo needs hair, lighting, makeup. I never have any PAs because
he has
Angelo
good hair,
has
though. He
all
has good hair. He has really good hair. He dresses well. I'm like infatuated with Angelo. It's his
Somebody
voice.
said too. Who did I talk to? Someone said I love Angelo's chest hair.
Oh, I
No,
know.
I
I
was
didn't say that. I didn't say
I
that.
can't-
But even Desiree was like, I love Angelo. Like his voice, it's just so calming and
Oh,
like
he'll love that.
he should be doing those like ASMR
More fans for
videos.
that.
Yes, Angela, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Angela loves that.
Okay, so talking about how the show has started one way, went another way, and then has maybe changed. What's your guys' vision for the future? Like, are you guys feel like now we're in a good rhythm? This is where we want to go, or do you maybe possibly want to change it down the line?
Well, I mean, I always wanted it to be a show that would help people, right? So I don't want to say we're far away from that, but I think we still have more work to do, right?
Okay.
So my goal was always to bring friends and family on, and then tell their stories. Whether it be, I have a good friend that she has cancer, and I wanted to tell those stories as like a last testament for, in case somebody was traveling down that path. I wanted to share, very similar to a talk show. I also wanted to cook.
Right.
And I wanted to share my recipes and the things that both of my grandmothers
Everything.
taught me.
Everything, yeah.
I kind of wanted to be a full, well-rounded show. I even
Right.
have my theme song, which, because of copyrights and all that crap, it's thousands of dollars to use, which we're not there yet with our budget. But, that's kind of where I eventually would like it to be. But I still wouldn't mind staying on YouTube. I don't want to be like
yeah, why not?
Oprah.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
be like, I'm not looking to be
People
in the
make
theater.
more on YouTube than on
Yeah.
Network
regular
TV,
TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I would love to bring people on. Like the last episode, or when I was talking about my tribe, I talked about one of my new friends that's in an open relationship, and I would like to bring him on and his partner and talk about, because I think people have questions. And I feel like that's poignant right now, because here Danny has somebody that is in this particular situation, or not a situation, but lives this particular lifestyle, right? That's not the gay, but they're in this like interesting relationship
Yeah.
dynamic, right? And so we want to ask questions. So how does this work? How does that work? Because I don't think that it has been addressed. I think that, you know, and I make the joke brother husbands, but sister wives, although they have their roundtable discussions, and although you're exposed to the Mormon-like culture, I really don't feel like they're asking those hard-hitting questions.
Right.
I think a lot of it is scripted for television, and a lot of it is just played out like the Kardashians because that's what they think people want to see.
Yeah.
But I want to get to the heart of it, and I want to ask questions that everybody else is thinking.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you're doing, but you know what I mean? But like,
Right. No. I 100%. Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal.
And
personally.
I love when you start a story and you're talking about someone, then I'm like, I want to hear from that person. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like exactly what you're saying. Bring them on, and I agree. So that leads me to the next question: who has been all these stories and all the stuff you guys talk about? Who's been your favorite guest? Heck yeah.
So, but my favorite friend guest that he's had was Kieran.
Oh, Kieran. Oh, God, Kieran's going to kill
Kieran
me.
was the first
one was
one.
Kieran's going to kill me. 'Cause I
Canadian.
totally forgot. I totally forgot he's going to kill me. Like,
And then he came on. He came on with his boyfriend later.
Yeah.
Kieran was my favorite.
Yeah,
Kieran was my favorite.
He seems so
I
nice
forgot.
and
That
I
first
forget.
interview.
See, when you get old, you forget. I'm gonna
Wait,
be
who was
old.
the guest you had on with a story where they themselves?
That's
going
That's
about-
Kieran.
That was
Kieran.
great. That was
That's
awesome.
Kieran.
And he told that story
In
that
Vegas? Yeah, that was
night,
awesome.
right?
I didn't know that was the result. I had been texting him, and I'd wonder why it took him 2 hours to come from the airport to my room. And I was like, what the fuck's
That's
going
hilarious.
on? And he told me he had thrown up on himself. And so I gave him my shoes. I gave him everything that I had. And I said, don't worry about it. I'll pay for everything tonight. Don't stress. And then it was so funny because in that moment, we were dancing the dance floor, and somebody dropped like a wad of 20s.
Oh, that's right.
And I grabbed him and I go, yeah! I pushed him on the floor. And he's like trying to pick it up like
The game
supermarket.
where they're shooting
shit.
out the water-
It's
the
all
money.
on the floor and it's blowing all over because, in the clubs, the air,
Yeah,
it's
the
air
air.
conditioning, right? It's blowing. And he just kept grabbing it. And I said, you get to keep it. That's all yours. I'm not going to keep it. But I forgot about Kieran. Yeah, Kieran's different, though. Kieran is a very special person to me.
Do you guys have a favorite episode that we were just like, that clicked, that was perfect, comedy, everything was 100%?
They're all my babies.
Yeah.
You can't really. I mean, sure, some of them are worse and some of them are better than the others,
Should
but
they have a funny
how to
one?
get there, how to just figure it all out, even the ones that were, we
But
lost
you never
audio,
like
lost
ended an
video.
episode and look at each other like, that
Oh,
was
we've
gold.
had plenty.
That was gold.
Oh,
But
yeah.
sometimes I've had episodes where I go, "Oh, that was terrible." But I get in the editing room, like, "Great,
Yeah,
what am I talking
I told
about?"
her that too. I'm like, sometimes I walk out here, I'm like,
The
we're
horrible.
about to go viral. And I listen, I'm like, this is the worst. This is the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. And there's other ones where I'm like, I'm just gonna put it out. And I listen, I'm like, this is
really good.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I get that.
That's funny.
Have
of being an artist.
you guys had any negative feedback? And I'm not just talking about because I've had it from when I post stuff on Instagram or the YouTube Shorts. I could get into big old crazy stuff because I purposely try to throw something crazy out there to get a response.
Yeah.
But
So
have
you throw that energy and it comes
yeah,
back.
and it comes back, and then I end up in a 3-day battle. And 100 comments later, there's like, you need to stop. I'm like, all right.
Leave it alone.
Have you guys ever had that? But from family or friends? Which would suck because it's like that's your family.
Me?
Yes.
Ooh.
Something negative feedback
What did he say? I don't remember.
about the show.
What did he
He said
say?
he got drunk and he was like,
Oh, yes. One of my friends got drunk. And I'm gonna say Matt. I'm telling you, fuck. He's not gonna watch this anyways. But my friend Matt actually got drunk one night and was telling me about the story of the person he's currently dating. And he goes, "I think he should have his own podcast." From Arkansas, so that's why I do his voice like that. And he goes, "I think should have his own podcast and show him. He's so special. You should hear his story, Daddy. He was adopted. He was this. He was that." He's like, "You don't have that. You need some sort of something to grab people, pull them in. Your show,
That's you.
he goes,
You're
your
the one
show
that-
doesn't have that.
Oh,
Your show
wow.
doesn't have that takes me and makes me want to watch more episodes." And I was like,
Wow.
wow, but he was drunk as always. And so he would probably deny that, as most alcoholics do. They deny the truth. And so, but I love him, right? Like when he's sober, he's like the sweetest thing, right?
Right.
He's like Otis. He's so sweet, right? But pour some liquid courage into him, and he's across the board. Yeah, and that was a shock to me because I was like, well, you obviously didn't hear my season 1, right? Like, my season 1 explains why I'm not supposed to be here, and blah, blah, and but he didn't want to listen to that. So it's interesting that you bring that up. So the other night, and I'm going to stray off on a quick story. The other night I went to the bar with him, and now my rule is 1 drink maximum with him, and then I leave, right?
Oh, okay.
Or maybe 2 if the vibe is fun. Well, I have another friend named Wayne. Wayne actually was an intern in New York at Tyra. And in the realm of the world is such a small place, Wayne is now living in Los Angeles. And so I run into him often, and he's working some TV, he's doing different things, right? I think he's also trying his own podcast also, too.
Oh, wow.
And so last night, or the night that I was there, Wayne was in some sort of court battle, but he won. And he was very excited, and he had not been drinking for a long time because he was so caught up in this.
Right.
So he won, and he goes, "I'm gonna have a shot tonight. Let me buy you a shot." And I was like, "No, I'm good because I don't drink like that anymore." You know what I mean? And so I said, "What? I will let you go right ahead," because I knew I was only going to take a sip and I was going to give him the rest of it. Or Matt, whoever wanted to be drunk. And so Wayne bought it, and then Wayne said this to me and hugged me. And he goes, "Before I cheers, I want you to know this." And Matt was listening. He goes, "You are the most influential gay that I've ever met in my entire life, because when I was nobody, I was an intern at Tyra. You made me feel like I had a chance. Being a gay man, I never thought," and he's from the Carolinas, so he also has an accent. It's very heavy. He goes, "I never thought that I would be able to do this. And little old me saw you, and you inspired me."
Oh, that's cool.
Because here you were, a producer, and a gay producer on top of that. He goes, "And you took me out dancing to it." Back then in New York, it was a nightclub called Splash. I always took the kids out.
Yeah, you did take them out all the time.
I always took the kids out. And I didn't care, right? They worked hard. Yes, I was a bitch to deal with, but let me tell you, I rewarded them greatly.
Right.
So we went dancing. He goes, "I will never forget that." He goes, "You'll never know how much you meant to me in that moment." He goes, "Yes, you were a fuck bitch." He goes, "But you have a heart of gold."
Yeah.
And I wish people could see that, but all they see is the bitch. And I'm like, "No, Wayne." I said, "You saw it." I said, "And that's all that I needed to know." And then I turned to Matt and I was like, "You see, Matt? Not everyone thinks I'm a..." Sorry, I had to tell that story.
That's good. No, that's a
That's a good one.
Yeah,
But
that's
you know,
awesome.
I never knew how I listen to this. I know that I act boisterous and loud, and it's always me. But I never assume that I'm going to be influential
Right.
on your life,
your actual
or
effect on
anyone's
people.
life.
Yeah.
I still can't grasp that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
He's lying.
Me?
He's lying.
I wipe my ass like everybody else with my left and my right. Why am I so special? Why am I special to you? But I am special to these people.
Yeah.
And I guess that's also part of the cathartic of telling my stories, and how a lot of the anger has gone away also too.
Yeah,
because
it has.
listen, I slip every now and then, but the ultimate goal is I don't want to hurt anybody's
Right.
feelings.
Yeah.
I really do want to help guide you on your journey, whether you are on the cusp of killing yourself or if you're on the cusp of being gay. I want to help you take away that anger. I want to help you learn how to balance your life.
But look,
For you-
that's a test, though. You put out the positive energy, it went out, and it came back full circle.
Oh, it totally is. And that was Kieran also too. It's that's extremely full circle. But anyways, I miss all of my staff. I
Yeah.
don't miss that job.
Yeah, that was the good part, right? Yeah. I get that. All right, let's turn it. So that was all the positive. So on the show right now, you, Louie, Angelo. Who's the biggest diva? Who's
Angelo.
the biggest problem to deal with?
Angelo.
Why?
Angelo.
Oh God, because he has to have lighting. He has to have makeup. He has to have hair. He has
Angelo
to
just overthinks everything.
Does Angelo request specific time? I need a half hour segment. Does he request
No,
more
he's not like
exposure?
that, but he really, he'll be mowing the lawn before we come, because he looked at it and said, "No, the lawn looked a little bit long." No
He'll
one's
move
gonna...
plants around. He'll
Yeah.
move chairs and
Oh, yeah.
stools.
So like a
and-
perfectionist on
Oh
different...
yeah, he's
Oh,
like,
my
we gotta
God.
get rid of this hose that was it. Just a little section was in the left. Like, dude, it's all right.
But I do appreciate that detail. I
Yeah.
really do appreciate that detail because he's setting the shots up.
Right,
just
right.
like Dad sets
Yeah.
up shots.
Right. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. This one's probably more for Louis.
Oh, okay.
Lou. What's the biggest technical failure you guys have had in the past?
So I
however
guess
you want?
the biggest technical for my fault, I'll answer that, would be maybe not hitting the record button.
How did you not hit the...
Because sometimes you just get into the groove and you forget to hit the most crucial thing.
Or we start with an open and we're like, oh my God, this is so funny. And he's like, oh, fuck. And then he's like, I didn't record it. So we'll be recording the video, but the audio is what we're missing. And you need that audio to
Yeah.
sync up
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
video.
kinda.
Otherwise, it sounds like you're in a closet
Right,
talking to
right.
people.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So, yeah. That's
So are all those problems gone?
No, from time to time, not the record. Like I'll hit the record button now. I make sure, but from time to time we'll lose like
Other stuff will
somebody
pop up.
Someone
on a
will
camera.
not
Someone
charge
won't have
their- yeah.
I
space.
feel like that's just the business. Like,
Yeah.
there's gonna be...
it
Yeah.
can be frustrating.
Okay.
Especially when you have some good stories.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody came to you two right now and said, "Hey, I'm going to start a podcast," what would your advice be? Yay?
Don't call it
nay?
a podcast
Yeah,
Oh,
it
why?
should be called a show.
because it's oversaturated with that name, and there's like a negative connotation because of
Really?
people like Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn, Andrew Schultz, and so on for
You
how
say-
they got the president elected.
You should say you have a show.
Yeah.
Okay.
YouTube
Okay.
show.
You have a show.
Sounds better.
A YouTube
Okay.
show or...
No deeper advice. That's it. Just don't call it that.
Make sure you have good audio. Audio matters.
Yeah. that's what
Before
I- yeah.
anything, before you even go to video, make sure your audio is quality because you could record on your phone and that's fine. If you're going to be outside, you're going to need lights, 100%. If you're going to, I guess, have guests, make sure they're funny and make sure you're a good interviewer and make sure you have a lot of free time. You know how to use good programs and you can at least know how to edit so people don't notice that your edit is bad.
like me.
So basically, dedicate time to this because it's a lot.
Put the work in.
Yeah,
Too. Yeah.
if you gotta have a love for this, and it's
It's a
gotta be
lot of
fun
work.
for you.
It's a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah,
work.
and it's just me, him, and Angelo, and they just help me with this part, and then I have to edit and
Right.
do all the special effects. And if he wants something specific, he'll tell me ahead of time. Maybe you can do this. Some things I can do. Some things I still need to learn. So
Do you
still
ever get a
learning.
little upset? Like, I got to do all this work. They don't even know what I'm doing over here. I spend all my nights.
The
we
only
know.
time, and I don't say it because it's not really that big of a deal, but if it's like the night before, like the day before, excuse me, if it's like I have to cut this tomorrow so that it's ready for Wednesday, I'm like, I got to make sure this is easy. So it's like, I got to try and make sure he's getting what he wants while also understanding I only have so much time.
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
never like, motherfucker, why are you doing this to me?
Do you feel like he's a tyrant? Or
No, not at all.
Sometimes I get the video late.
Well, I mean, yeah, the other night I had an issue where
And
it
we
was just
taped
taking
on
6
Sunday.
hours. So,
wow. Okay. Last question.
I
Last
wasn't
question.
excited about that.
Are you guys satisfied where you're at right now? That's the first question, and then the follow up is: where do you guys see the show in a year, 5 years, maybe 10 years? Are you guys even thinking that far, or are you just day to day?
do you want to answer that? Or you want me to answer it?
You have a lot of questions in there.
Yeah,
'Cause I have
I'm
a
gonna let you
couple-
guys close it out.
Yeah.
That's the last
Things
question.
to say
So,
there.
so go ahead, take it how you want.
Am I satisfied? No. Because I think that the show could be so much better. But it's not the fault of anyone except, we need people to watch, right?
The more watchers we get,
the
yeah.
more watchers. We have a lot of listeners, but we need those to transfer over to watching it on YouTube. And that's been the hard part. Excuse me. But in all honesty, I will speak for myself. I haven't spent a lot of time really promoting the show. Like, I'll do promos and stuff like that. And the reason why is I never wanted to be that person. It's like, I have a show. Watch my show. Watch my
Right,
show.
right,
Watch my
right.
show.
Nonstop,
Hey, everybody.
yeah.
Like, nonstop.
It gets annoying. It gets
on Instagram.
annoying,
You have
yeah.
people on Instagram that are constantly posting, I got a show. And you're just like, oh, it's so annoying. I never wanted to be that person. But I think it's time now. We're a little saturated. It's time to start stepping it up and
Right,
start,
right.
for me personally, and get more engagement.
Yeah,
right.
I agree.
And so there's that. And then do you want to answer that too? And then we'll go on to the where do you see it in years gone by?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think at the beginning, I had this very big, grandiose idea. What I wanted him to do was realize what they had done to him on that show was not who he was going to be. Because they ultimately stripped him of his ability to be himself. So I'm like, if you have your own show, you can shed it all.
Right.
And then my idea was, if you can get big enough and they put you on your own show, you've made it. Now you've made it full circle, and nobody can ever make you feel that way.
Right.
So I had this really grand idea that I guess in hindsight was so over the top.
No, but why? I mean, you should shoot for the. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. So, but I'm just saying, it's like I had to ground my ideas because while I have this big grandiose idea and the show's not going my way, it was frustrating at the beginning. Like, oh, it's not happening. Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
So now that I'm in the third season, I'm very much like, I don't care where it goes. If it goes if it goes somewhere, great. If it doesn't and it stays this, I'm still getting the satisfaction of doing something out of it.
Yeah.
And it's been fun.
There
hasn't been a day where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. There'll be days where I'm like, I just don't want to sit by a computer and edit all day. But there isn't where I'm like, I don't want to do this show at all.
That's one thing I like about the show is that when I watch, I feel like you guys are having a good time. Now, past all the other stuff, but now it seems like you guys are in a groove, this season or whatever. But it seems like you guys are having fun. You guys are enjoying each other.
It's very minimal.
Like who? Eventually, you got to kind of who gives a shit about the view? Let's keep doing it, and if it'll catch up, it'll catch up.
And at the end of the day, though, I think also what I always go back to basics because I always like to stay grounded as much as I can. For as much as people throw and say, "Oh, your head's in the clouds." At the end of the day, though, this is what we created.
Right.
This is what we created.
Yeah.
It's going to be on the internet forever. And so whether people enjoy it or they don't enjoy it, that's okay.
Yeah. Somebody will find it. And
they're going to go, God, this person's so crazy.
Yeah. And if it helps one person or somebody is inspired, like you, Paul, how you said, that's all I really cared about.
Yeah.
Because I was inspired by somebody else.
Yeah.
And, he said yes, and that's the only reason why I was able to learn the skills that I have now.
Yeah. No, I love it. I look forward to, what is it, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I'm like, I get to work, I'm like, what's going on? It's 9 o'clock. Why the hell is the show? But as soon as it comes on, I watch it. And as I'll watch it over and over just because I'm working. So first I'm kind of hearing it.
Yeah, you're listening to it and enjoying it, but then you're studying it.
I heard a good thing, I want to hear it again. I'll listen again. Or I'll be in bed and I'm like, let me throw that shit on again.
With season 3, though, there's more sight gags. There's more things that you can see.
I like that. Well, that's what I was going to say is the last episode was probably my favorite episode.
Which one?
With the sunglasses?
With Angelo's dog dying. And I'm like, I don't even like... I hate dogs. I hate my dog. And I was tearing up. I was like, what the heck? That is really sad. The way Angelo was able to, and all you guys, and then you do the little outro and the
editing. You're welcome.
That was a real, when I turned that off, I was like, I'm watching that again. That was a great episode. So I feel like it's getting better when it does certain things to you. Does just make me laugh. That one made me kind of get. Do I hate dogs?
Yeah.
I hate dogs, and I was like. That was sad. That was a real, and the way you guys did it, it made me more attached to Angelo and you, and that's what you should be doing. Make us more.
Make you care.
Exactly, care about you guys.
And let me tell you, that is editing because Angelo could have said so much more because he really did a lot for that dog. I mean, it was like a person. It wasn't even an animal. I mean, he was giving that dog insulin injections in the morning, in the evening, and then the special diet that consisted of all these different things that was not dog food. And it was nonstop. I mean, and then the dog got glaucoma, and he forked over the money to remove the glaucoma. I mean, that's like a person. He said, like you said, I didn't want her to die blind and alone and figuring out what the heck was going on. You're like, oh my God. Right? It's so sad.
Can we please start the movement to get Angelo more time? I'm in love with that guy. His voice is so soothing. I just get calm and I'm like, Angelo, let Angelo talk. Let Angelo cook. No, but I think it's a good, you guys have a really good dynamic.
It's lightning
with
in a bottle,
all
for sure.
three of you.
Yeah.
You know, you and Lou, you know, vibe up. Like Lou catches your jokes now.
And we
in the
shouldn't.
beginning, I feel like you didn't. I feel like you would, like even Debo and Angelo or Debo and Dylan, I feel like Lou, you were just like, I don't know what they're talking about.
So-
Now you're
so-
more like,
yeah.
you're like into it now more. You're like, now
Because we
you're
rehearsed.
more,
So
right.
for me, it was more
Oh.
like I didn't know where to gauge it. I'm not gay. I can't claim to be gay.
Oh.
Okay. I can't.
Angelo thinks he's.
I can't claim to be
He
gay.
came out last.
I can't claim to be gay. So I don't know where to gauge gay jokes because I'm not trying to offend anybody, and I don't like
No, but you shouldn't have to worry about that.
But
You
that's
just
how I
say-
think automatically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But so
you guys just let go
now,
all that little. Like,
so now I just don't
yeah.
care.
No,
Yeah.
I noticed
I'm
you
just
for
having
you.
a good time with it. Like,
I noticed
fuck
for
it.
you it's changed
Yeah.
you. Like you're right. You are more. You'll say what's on your mind.
It was
more
after I
than the other
broke my
seasons.
leg.
Yeah.
Once I broke my leg and I was just sitting there, I was just like, something's got to change.
Who gives a
'cause,
shit?
yeah.
Why just let's
exactly?
let it
I
go.
could die
Let it go.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Now I threaten him. You better
Yeah.
fucking talk, Louis. I want to hear from you.
No, it's good. I think you guys have a good dynamic. I love Angelo. I even love when Darnella. I wish I understood more of your guys'
I
jokes.
love her too.
So do we.
But
That's-
like, I
yeah.
love that energy. She just starts laughing, and I'm laughing. I'm
Oh,
like, I don't know what
God.
I'm laughing at.
And
But it's
listen,
like, it's
let
funny.
me tell you, like going back to Darnella, like I would love to harness that.
Yeah.
If she could just listen and realize that, like, man, she's got some great energy to share.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm gonna try again.
Yeah.
We'll try again.
No, you should.
Yeah.
But I feel like it has gotten better because at the beginning episodes, I had no idea what you were talking. Now it's like it's better. It's like I feel like it's.
Again, we try to rehearse
Yeah.
now. And
Oh,
now
okay.
with season 3, we really go over the topics like what you have. And so
Okay.
we say, okay, and then if he starts to say something, I'm like, save it. Put it
Yeah.
into the
Yeah,
show.
Yeah.
That's good.
Whip in, and then I have to remind him, and then we kind of go, and then Angelo just needs a little extra rehearsal every now and then, because sometimes when you say things the first time, now it comes easy for me.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
I
it's not
already
easy.
know. I'm already thinking
Right.
what you should do, what you should do. That's already in my head, right? But I forget that Angelo didn't, work in that field, and Louis didn't work in that field. So
Yeah.
I have to give them their time to raise to that
Right.
level of awareness.
And you've
if you
always
will.
been a good, like, well-spoken storyteller. Like,
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could just be in the kitchen. You just hung beds and you were telling a story. And I'm like, I'm captivated. You know what I mean? So you've always had that. But yeah, that was my last question. So that's the show.
That you end your show?
Yeah, that's how we end it. Thanks again to Do It Like Danny, cousin Louie, cousin Debo. You guys keep it real. I will give you that. You keep it real on the show. You remind us that podcasting isn't just hitting record. There's a lot more that goes into it.
Oh, yeah.
So it was nice getting kind of a different perspective because I go through kind of the same stuff, but it's not because you guys have a whole crew. It's usually just me or Des. Or me. But, like,
me and them two, bro.
well,
Not
but
a
yeah,
crew.
but I mean, that kind of is. So it's good hearing your guys' perspective and kind of seeing how, like,
Similar
everybody
problems.
Kinda,
Oh,
everybody kind
yeah.
of struggles. Everybody
Oh, yeah.
okay, when
Yeah.
my audio is off, I shouldn't want to shoot myself. Like, it happens. So,
We lose whole episodes.
Oh,
We
yeah.
get it. Yeah.
so I appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah.
And I'm your biggest fan. I need to start commenting more. Desiree's also your biggest fan. What do I do the day the episode comes out? Babe, did you listen to Debo? It's out? Yeah, it's out. All right, okay, I'll listen to it right now. Like, and we'll talk about it. Like, what do you think? Yeah. So we're your biggest fans. I will support you no matter what. Like,
Nice.
it doesn't matter what you guys talk about. Like, I love you guys, so I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah.
Keep it up. Keep up the good work. And yeah, that's it. Do you have a final?
No, so thank you for watching my cousin's podcast, and thank you for tuning in to Do It Like Danny with cousin Louie and talking about cousin Angelo. Hopefully you got an opportunity to learn something different other than me just screaming out, welcome! So with all that being said, thank you for watching both these episodes and have a great week. And remember to always do it like Danny in the BD universe.
Well said. It's almost like he's a professional, huh? Have you done it? Thanks, guys. Dude, that was awesome. I gotta go eat it. That was good. I like that. I like that. That was,